What up, everybody? Hope you're doing well. Got my Think, Feel, Be Better shirt on today. Had it on yesterday too, but I think it's good to have it on today on this beautiful Juneteenth day. Um, just getting more of my thoughts out of what's been going on, not so much personally, but just in general. What I've been feeling and what I'm seeing in the world. I'm very optimistic, and I'm happy to see, that the current and future generations aren't really participating, and they're seeing through all these psyops and these misdirections that's going on in our society and all over the world. Honestly, it's very. It feels very good knowing that we are moving forward and we are moving past all this nonsense that's been going on in the world, while also still having some shred of compassion for the people who are doing these things and carrying these things out. With me, I guess talk a little bit personal. Just seeing how people in even like the smallest positions of power within our government constantly feel like they can just do whatever they want to whoever they want for whatever reason. It doesn't really matter why or what. If they feel a certain type of way, they're just going to do something. Doesn't matter if it hurts more people than it helps, and it doesn't matter if it's only self-serving. They'll just do it. Yesterday, the past 2 days, I went to the library in Lakewood on Detroit, the main one, and they've had the trash. What do you call them? The trash trucks, the garbage trucks, stationed outside of the window that I'm been sitting at. I've been beefing with the librarians. They're not all of them, but some of them, the bitter, older ones. You know the ones, the bitter, older ones. Because apparently I'm in a section that I'm not supposed to be in. According to them, according to certain ones. I talked to other librarians and they say you're allowed to sit wherever you want. There are no certain sections for certain people, you know what I'm saying? But certain people in here, they don't learn from history how you just can't segregate people and put people wherever you want to. You kind of have to allow people to go where they want, especially in a public space. But they've been kind of trying to bully me out of that place, out of that space, out of that corner that I've been in, because it's out of the way. You know what I'm saying? I'm there, downloading games, and using their internet. That's how I'm allowed to, and they just don't like it. They just don't like seeing me. Truly, they want me in a place where they can't see me, so they can't be reminded of what they're not. Even though I am them and they are me, we are the same person. They just don't like being reminded of my existence, because it makes them feel a certain type of way. Even though they work for the public, they work for the government, they don't want to actually do anything for the public. And they're using the little bit of power that they have to try to do whatever they want to me, and they're like other people using using people in the environment to speak to me, to talk shit to me, and it just shows how miserable people are and how people really just do not like being themselves. They are not okay, and it shows. And it's not everywhere. It's very much a Cleveland thing. Outside of here, things aren't that bad, even though I do see and hear people talking about their own experiences, about how things are in their local communities. I just know here in Cleveland, things are really bad, which is things need to be changed. I should say, which is why I keep advocating for people to come here. And I know people will. They will see the beauty that is here, and this is like a perfect place for people to build communities, to have a place for the people. I was talking to someone yesterday how I went to Seattle like 10 years ago, and I noticed how it's changed, obviously, in recent years because of the tech companies moving in and gentrifying the city. But for the longest time, like Seattle was ran by the people, and it still is. But it's like the people ran shit there. Like the communities are strong. That the people there know each other. They're very happy. They're very accepting. They're very happy people. They're very, very content people. And I would like, my plan is to turn Cleveland into that, at least to the Midwest version of that, where people are content. We are going to be as happy as people in Seattle, even though their weather is very similar. They have a lot of dreary, cloudy days. They make the most of it, and it's really dope to see. And with Cleveland being what it is, and our standard of living being what it is, I think it is possible to turn this city into that. And that's what I'm going to be advocating for. For the rest of my life, is just to turn Cleveland into a city that's for the people, that's ran by the people, not by a small group of bitter, miserable people who just want to spread the misery to everybody else. There's so many breweries and bars and churches everywhere here in Cleveland. Like, they're on every single street. You know what I'm saying? So many people want to be forgiven, and they also want to forget. At the same time, it's very, very telling what's going on here. But outside of my personal stuff, I see this all over the country and all over the world. People are seeing through, the current regime and our government. People are seeing through, Elon and all these people who are truly pulling the strings, and people are definitely seeing what is happening right now. And it's unfortunate that, the older generations are the ones who are doing this, but that's all they know. Truly, that's the world that they were in, and they are terrified of this new world that is being ushered in. You know what I'm saying? And I am definitely one of the people who are ushering in this new world, because it needs to happen. You know what I'm saying? All these people putting on these performances is just, it's very, very depressing to see people just sabotaging themselves, truly. And it's like, it's not necessary. People don't need to do this. It's not necessary to do this anymore, but that's all they know. So at the end of the day, I feel like it's up to me and people like me to lead people forward and being like, hey, this is kind of what needs to happen. And in order for us to get past this and to truly continue to evolve as a species, we aren't done evolving. We still have a ways to go. Unlike other animals and other mammals where they've pretty much figured it out, we're still learning things about ourselves every single day, which is a beautiful thing. That's why so many things are happening in our society and with us as a species that people don't really like, because it isn't normal. It's weird, but it's all part of the process that we need to go through in order to be the best versions of ourselves. So it's something that I've been reflecting on, trying to get past the anger of the things that have happened to me personally that ultimately I am very grateful for. I'm grateful for the attention that I get, and how so many people, their actions is nothing but love. At the end of the day, they're constantly believing in me and pushing me forward. That's why they do what they do. Because if they didn't believe in me, they didn't care about me, they would just ignore me. And I have never been ignored a day in my life. People are always thinking about me. People are always having me in their thoughts. People get nervous when they don't see me, when they don't hear from me. You know what I'm saying? So it's definitely something that I'm thankful for, but at the same time, I do need to make sure that I'm using all that attention for the ultimate goal of changing things and getting people to see what this is and start making some changes in their own personal lives, so we can all move forward collectively and make the changes that we want to see, which is happening. It's happening every single day, slowly but surely. So I'm glad to see that not only in the country and in our local communities, but all over the world, that we are making these changes, and people are really starting to see what needs to be done and are doing those things and are speaking truth. Truth is definitely coming out. I know we live in a world of lies. And that's the reason why we need the truth, because we live in a world of lies to keep these psyops and these misdirections, put them where they need to be, which is in the entertainment section. There's nothing but entertainment. There's nothing but theater, and we need to. I appreciate the theater, but also I see that this is nothing but masking people's fear of the change that is coming, of the new world that is being ushered in, and I am very, very thankful for that, because this fear needs to be experienced. People need to look themselves in the mirror and see where this stuff comes from, and so they can hopefully conquer it. That's what I'm hoping for these people, that they can conquer their fear, conquer their emotions, and truly move on and move forward from this, because it's nothing more. Continuing down this path is going to lead to nothing but more misery, and we need to leave these miserable lives with the generation who made them, and who constantly are keeping them fed, and constantly, encouraging this behavior. This behavior cannot continue. One of the main reasons why I'm doing this, the biggest piece of this pie for me, is I'm a very optimistic, very happy, content person, and I would like to be surrounded by more people like me. And the people who are in positions of power right now are constantly pushing those people out of here to different parts of the world and different parts of the country, even though this city, it grows great people, it grows great artists and great thinkers, and we have the foundation to keep them here. We just don't have the community to keep them here and have them thriving, but there's certain things, like the next video I'm about to talk about how, having jobs is a psyop, and we should all have a purpose in our life, but we all should not have jobs. Too many people have power over other people's livelihoods, and it's causing so much chaos, unnecessary chaos. That's for the next video, but this one is just more thoughts about what I'm seeing and what's going on, and just keep moving forward, and just keep this up, because I see slowly but surely every single day that the fruits of my and other people's labors are starting to bear fruit, are starting to really peak, especially now in the summer. And I know next month, July, is going to be a really big monumental month for all of us, and we all need to be preparing for it, because it's going to be a big one. So hopefully you guys are staying the course and staying optimistic. We're all going to get through this, and we're all going to start flourishing and really start living our best lives here very soon. So get ready for it, because it's definitely on the way. But yeah, y'all take it easy. Enjoy the rest of your weekend.